Hey, welcome. Today, we're diving into something pretty amazing: how our everyday choices can literally build us a stronger, healthier brain. We're going to look at the science backed habits that can actually transform our mental well being for the long haul.
So, what if you had way more control over your brain's future than you ever thought possible? Well, check this out. The Lancet Commission, a major group of top international researchers, estimates that up to 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed just by managing lifestyle factors. Now, that number isn't supposed to be scary. It's empowering. It means the small choices we make every single day can add up to make a huge difference. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to see just how much control we really have. Then, we'll dive into the power of movement, the right foods, and even our surroundings. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a simple plan you can start using like today.
Okay, first up, this whole idea that our brain health is something we can do something about. If you remember one thing from this explainer, let it be this: you are absolutely in the driver's seat when it comes to the long term health of your brain.
You know, there's a simple saying in the science world: what's good for the heart is good for the brain. It's so true. We're about to break down the science behind that, showing you exactly how our choices, how we move, what we eat, and where we spend our time directly shape our cognitive well-being. So, where do we even begin with building a healthier brain? Let's start with one of the most powerful tools we have: movement. Seriously, when you move your body, you're not just working your muscles. You're kicking off this incredible chemical chain reaction right inside your head. Exercise unleashes what people often call happiness hormones. Think of your brain like a high-tech chemical factory. When you get active, you flip the on switch, and it starts pumping out these amazing neurochemicals that are proven to lift your mood and just melt away stress. And there's a real feel-good trio at play here. First, you've got dopamine. That's the reward chemical. It's what makes you feel so good after you finish a workout. Then there's serotonin, the mood stabilizer, which helps fight off feelings of depression. And of course, endorphins, the brain's natural painkillers, the stuff that gives you that amazing runner's high.
But here's a cool question: is all movement created equal? Well, not exactly. While repetitive stuff like running is fantastic for your heart and for releasing those hormones, activities that are a bit more complex, they give you an extra brain-boosting edge. Things like dancing or badminton, they don't just work your body, they challenge your coordination and your thinking skills, which actively strengthens the connections in your brain. So, what's happening on a biological level? Well, a huge player here is a protein called BDNF. The best way to think about it is like Miracle-Gro, but for your brain. Exercise literally boosts your BDNF levels, which helps your existing brain cells survive and, get this, it even encourages the growth of new ones. It's so important for learning, memory, and mood. Okay, next up, let's talk about food. Because if exercise is what sends the right signals to your brain, then the food we eat provides the actual building blocks, the fuel for a high-performing mind. Let's look at a few key nutrients here. You've got tryptophan, which you find in things like turkey and nuts, and it helps your body create that mood booster, serotonin. Then there are polyphenols, packed into blueberries and dark chocolate, which are total powerhouses for memory and fighting inflammation. And you can't forget omega-3s from fish and walnuts, which are absolutely essential for building new brain cells. Let's zoom in on blueberries for a sec, because they are just incredible. They are loaded with a special kind of polyphenol called anthocyanins. Research shows these little guys can improve spatial memory and, you guessed it, can even increase levels of that Miracle-Gro protein, BDNF. They are a true brain superfood. And I've got some really good news for you. Yes, chocolate helps. Specifically, dark chocolate, the kind with a high cocoa content, we're talking 70 to 85%, has been shown to improve circulation and cognitive function. The key, of course, is a little something called moderation. All right, let's zoom out a bit now and look at how our environment shapes our brain. Because brain health isn't just what you do or what you eat, it's also about where you are and who you're with. I just love this idea from researchers at Cornell. They're talking about a nature dose. So instead of a doctor just vaguely saying, hey, go outside more, they treat time in nature like a real prescription with a specific, concrete goal. How cool is that? So what's the recommended dose? It's probably less than you think. Just 10 to 20 minutes. Spending that little time in a natural place, like a local park or a trail, has been shown to seriously lower stress hormones like cortisol. It's one of the most efficient ways to just reset your mind. And we absolutely cannot forget the power of community.
I mean, there's this landmark Harvard study. It followed people for 75 years, and it found that the biggest predictor of health and a long life wasn't your cholesterol, it wasn't how much money you made, it was the quality of your relationships. We are just wired for connection.
All right, time for our final section, building your very own healthy brain plan. We've covered the what to do, so now let's get practical and focus on the how. How do we turn all this great information into habits that actually stick around? Okay, the Global Council on Brain Health lays out a really clear path for this. First, start small, just one simple goal. Then, make it fun. If you hate running, don't run. Try a dance class. Find a friend to do it with you for support. And remember, setbacks are gonna happen. That's okay, just learn from them, celebrate your small wins, and keep going. And it's also really important to remember that context matters. Our ability to make these healthy choices is shaped by our communities, our environment, and the resources we have access to. The goal here is not perfection. It's about focusing on what you can control, just one small step at a time. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Brain health isn't about finding one single magic bullet. It is all about an integrated approach. It's the powerful combo of how you move, what you eat, and the environments you put yourself in. Small, consistent actions across all these areas. That's what creates real, lasting benefits for your brain. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. What's one small, enjoyable change you can make today to invest in your brain's future? Maybe it's a 10-minute walk outside. Maybe it's adding a handful of blueberries to your breakfast. Whatever it is, the absolute best time to start is right now. Thanks so much for joining us.